G'day friends, welcome to part 2 of the hashtag littleraveninktober flip. If you haven't seen part 1, I kind of explained why I took this on, but I guess I could say it again, it was something simple. For my off-camera journal time, I do set aside time just to work for myself and kind of indulge and play a little bit. It's how I keep the wheels greased and the imagination active. I would love to do absolutely everything I did on camera, but to be honest, it just gets really overwhelming. So I do have to set aside specific time just to play and practice on my own without the stress of making any content for it. But this is something that I've been doing just over night time, just kind of going through the prompts at my own pace and working with Copic markers and a little Muji gel pen, this one right here. I've got it linked down below, the stuff that I use, and I'm just going to flip part 2 today, which is prompts 9 to 23. Yeah, 9 to 23. So I've actually almost finished the challenge, which is a little upsetting because I thought it would be my October, like, off-camera time, but I'm gonna have to find something else to do in my off-camera time. But also I'm just really loving it, so I didn't want to kind of wait every single day if I could do a couple in a day. It was just something fun to do. So let me read the prompts out for you. I think this is the last one we got to before, and so let's just move straight on. Well, this prompt is, oh, I mustn't forget my diary, and I think you can tell this is my burn book. It is not my diary. I actually have a very secret diary. It's my Cruella de Vil journal that is in my Shakespeare A5 notebook, and that is something that will never be put out for public consumption. It is probably part diary, part burn book, but that's where I vent all my feelings into, so it's good to have that separate and somewhere tucked away nicely so I can do all of that in secret and private over there. And I just thought it was so funny. I had to kind of I think this is also around October 3rd, which is I think what most people regard as Mean Girls Day. I know I do anyway. But yeah, so this is why I thought I would do like a funny little take on that. For prompt 10, it says, I'm loving my blue rinse hairdo today. Blue rinse to me is just so funny for so many different reasons, but I'm not going to go into all of that. Basically, I just wanted to make it all about the hair, give her a nice little wavy do. I'm still really loving the like little central illustration focused on the middle of the page. Sometimes I get away from that and I end up making it a little bit bigger than I want it to, but these are still my favorite when it's just kind of an image right in the center of the page. So I really like the layout of it. I like the format of it. It just looks really nice in the middle of my page. Unfortunately, Copic markers do bleed through, but I did have a suggestion from someone that I could put the prompt on this side of the page with like maybe a paper over the top or like paint over this so that you couldn't see the bleed through. So I think I might experiment with that, maybe do some typewriter on some paper and just kind of stick it on there. That way I can have like a really nice flat layout, but I'm also creasing the pages, which I just noticed and is really annoying me. Anyway, it's just a journal, it can't be perfect. But I really like this one. I think I really focused on contrasting the hair and having it stand out by using orange. Orange and blue are opposite on the color wheel, so it provides a really nice color contrast for that. I really like it. This one here is prompt 11, and it says, oh fuddle, I can't reach my feet. Which I was a bit confused on this one. I didn't know how I was going to approach it, and in the end I kind of put this little character in a cinder block and roped her feet up to the clouds. Although this does remind me of, you know, when people throw those shoes over telephone wires? I don't know where you guys live, probably a really nice area where that doesn't happen. But I do remember that as a kid. Every time I used to look at these telephone wires, I'd be like, why are people throwing their shoes out there? You need those. So to me, this was a little bit of a play on that. Number 12 is, I can feel someone's eyes on me. This is probably one of my favorite because it's so soft. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up on camera, if you can really see it. I'll try and pull it up closer. The colors are just these pastel, really pretty colors, and I didn't actually outline the edge of all of this. I thought I was going to, and then the more I looked at it, I thought, no, it doesn't need it. Let it just stand out. It kind of does. You can't really tell what's going on at the start. He almost looks like he's in a little space suit, which, you know, I hate space, so I don't know why I like this so much then. But I really liked how soft it looked, and it was a nice little image. It was super simple. Like, they're just the most simple almond-shaped eyes, and that face is super simple in there as well. Had a bit of a Copic marker explode on me there, but I can live. I will live. I just really like this one. Probably one of my favorites in the book. Number 13 is, and that's why she never went swimming again. Let's just straight up say I struggled with this one. I didn't know why anyone wouldn't go swimming. I thought, I didn't want to draw a pool because any kind of big setting was going to take away from the fact that I just wanted these very simple illustrations in the middle of the page, and it would have become very small, and I was going to end up adding a lot to it, and I just thought, no, let me find a reason why someone might not go, and I thought an aggressive pool floaty might be a reason someone didn't go swimming again. I don't know, I probably wouldn't go in that, so. Number 14, it says, it turns out you really can have too much of a good thing. So for me, that good thing was eyelashes. Now, to be honest, I don't think you can. The more lashes, the better. Hashtag always add lashes. I'm obsessed with lashes. I gave her this little band-aid across the nose. I don't know if people are familiar with like Harajuku kind of fashion culture and the trends over the decades of you know, Tokyo street style, but there was a big fad at one point to put little character band-aids over noses. I don't know why, but I was just always kind of into it. I never rocked one myself, but who knows, I might go out later with a cute little band-aid across my nose. I really like her. Very simple. I actually only used 2 colors for this one, just a pink and a blue. So I've been using mostly like 3 or 4 colors for these. Even if I changed up the tone a little bit, but this was straight up just a light blue and a light pink, so probably one of the more simple ones because I really wanted the eyelashes to just stand out and be like really punchy. It's a little off center, like I wish it was drawn on the page like that, but I'll live. It's the theme of this video. I'll live. I can live with it. This one is number 15, and it says, yep, that went well. So, guilty pleasure. I don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but I do watch the recaps they have on YouTube. I tend to find you can get all the information out of one episode in about 2 minutes in one of the recaps. So I just watch that. But yes, I do keep up with Kardashians better than I keep up with my own life. That was a meme somewhere, wasn't it? But yeah, so I was listening to Kylie Jenner. I think we all saw the rise and fall of her lips. They just went crazy at one point, and then I feel like she started deflating them a little bit. She wasn't getting them redone, and then I think she even had some of her lip fillers reduced and kind of brought back down to earth. So I just pictured what that was like having her last plumping session, and she thought, yes, that's great, and then probably regretted it afterwards. I think plastic surgery is a really fun concept to play with, especially if you're going to go a little Picasso and start putting the eyes and the lips and the nose everywhere. It's just fun to play with all those proportions, and I don't think it's as taboo as everyone thinks it used to be, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really funny to play with. So this is my little tribute to Kylie Jenner. This one is number 16, and it says, it's never too early in the morning for a leopard print leotard, Joe. So I don't know where that prompt came from and who was saying that to whom, but this is just what I came up with. And I think the thing that really pushes it over the edge for me are all the little white highlights that just make him look glistening. The little leotard, I kind of struggled with the leopard print, not gonna lie. I didn't know how to effectively achieve that. I did have to look that up. But the rest, I mean, this is just such a stupid image. And I think that's what I'm liking about it too. I wish it was smaller, but I'm liking that these can just be anything and really capture the whole prompt in such a prompt in such a simple way, like such a random. Like, I would never have drawn that if I didn't have that prompt. So that's been really fun for me. I don't know, I just think it's funny. Number 17 says, tomorrow I shall go on an adventure, he said, as he held his compass up in the air with determination. This was a bit of a hard one because there was a lot going on in that prompt, but I just kept it really simple and thought, well, maybe his compass is a big balloon, that's why it's up in the air, and it's not, you know, it doesn't necessarily look like a balloon, but the idea of a balloon is up there, and I just kept him super simple. I like this, I just don't think, I think there's something missing. I think maybe it's a little too simple, but I'm not going to go and add anything, so let's just pretend that it's fine. Number 18, she emerged from the bedroom armed odd socks and a cardboard shield to protect her from the night horrors. So that's what I came up with, just some odd socks. I'll be honest, this is the least favorite illustration I have in the book. I had a problem trying to convey cardboard, and I kind of wanted her to have a shield, like guarding herself from the night horrors, and I just think her proportions behind the shield got a little lost, and it just looks a little off to me. I don't know what I could do differently, because that was the prompt that was the only thing I could think of at that point. I think I just wanted to get to the next one, because I knew I didn't like this one so much, so I'll just be honest and say this one is it's not my fave. Number 19, one set of glowing green eyes peeked out at them from between the tangled roots and leaves. So, looking at this, I have forgotten the roots. It's fine, I don't mind. I got the leaves in there, that's all that matters, right? The leaves in the eyes. The eyes, for me, glowing green eyes, I've said this before, it's not like a massive problem, but I do have a bit of color blindness on the yellow-green spectrum. All around the light and fluorescent shades of yellow and green, they all look either or to me. So a lot of bushes I see, like a lot of, even as I'm looking outside now, I can see like the median strip of the road has all of these big shrubs and plants, and it's not like I can't see yellow or green, I just don't know which it is. It looks yellow to me, but it also looks green, so I can't confidently say what it is. And this, I just have to be honest, I don't know if I picked a green here. I think it's green, but it also looks yellow to me because it was light and that glowing, and it's just right in the spectrum. I know this dark one is green, I can see that that's green, but I don't know any of the other ones. They could be yellow or green, so please forgive me because I'm just struggling with that. I don't know what's going on in my eyes. It was news that was brought to me later on in life, so I don't know what to do about that. I don't think it's hindered my progress in any way, but for this specific prompt, I struggled with that. But I do like how simple this is. I like how, like, you know, I thought it was going to be a particularly spherical shape, but then having one or two leaves that kind of took it out of that made it look a little more interesting to me. I don't know if there's anything to that, but if that's something to take away from it, I'll try and take that away. Number 20, most everyone disagreed with her, but Pauline had never met a cheese she didn't like, and this one, pungent and veined with blue, was no exception. So here's my Pauline. I love Pauline. I don't know if this reads as cheese or like electric, I don't know, laser cut dress. I don't know what this reads as, but to me it is the cheese. It's like Swiss cheese and she's got the blue vein going in there. I just thought Pauline looked so fun. I've been, for the longest time, wanting to experiment with what I see a lot of illustrators do, using Copic markers, even watercolors. Wherever there's an elbow or like, maybe like a crease or a curve or a bend in a body, they put pink or like shades of red, and it almost looks like the elbows are blushing or the knees are blushing, and she's got some there. So I really tried to practice with that here, and I love it. I think it's such a good thing to do if you've got a lot of skin on show, or if because like the skin can look really flat, especially if this was essentially the only thing that's not skin is these little cheese things here, but the rest of her skin, it could have just looked like one block of color. So I think having these little flushed out joints just really pops it out a little bit dimensionally without having to add shadows in there, because there's actually no shadows or highlights in this. It's just the flush of color on the bends. It's kind of like highlighting that there is a movement there or some kind of structure. I'm not quite sure what I want to say about it, but do you know what I mean? It was just something I wanted to play with, and I really did like the effect, so who knows if that's going to keep popping up. One of my favorite things about this, and it's super random, just love her little feet. I don't know why. I guess such an obsession with like these, especially like the chubbier they get, like the curvier they get. I just want them to have teeny tiny little Barbie doll feet, and this just kills me. I love it. Love her little hair too. Pauline is one of my faves. Number 21, Mrs. Muddle never thought she'd have her moment. In fact, she never thought at all. I didn't know what Mrs. Muddle's moment was going to be, so all I thought was, well, she's just a little thoughtless. Like, she's a little, you know, not careless, but like she's literally just void of thoughts. So I just wanted to make almost like a bowl, like an empty bowl, and it didn't really read that well when I started to shade it, so I added this little cloud up the top to insinuate that there's just nothing going on in there. Poor Mrs. Muddle, she's just sad, waiting for something to happen, but she has no idea. Although if you're not really thinking about much, are you really disappointed that nothing's happening? I'm not quite sure. Mrs. Muddle's got her own story, but this is the one for that. I really like this one too. I think it's really simple, I like the colors. Number 22, Franklin pushed up his red-framed glasses and sighed heavily, checking his clipboard. So this is Franklin, he's got his big red glasses, like the prompt would suggest, and I thought instead of checking his clipboard, I thought what if he just were the clipboard and he was just checking himself, so that's what I kind of came up with. I had to add a little bit of shadows in here because it looked like he just had a really bizarre torso, and I did add this. I was going to put a little tie clipped into the clipboard, as if like, you know, his outfit was clipped onto his clipboard, but I just didn't think it would read very well, so I decided to put a to-do list on there, which I think was the right idea, because when I had finished and I didn't have the shadows in, it just did look like kind of a weird nude torso. So I think the to-do list really helped sell it, and his little clip became his neck. So I like little Franklin there. I would have loved it to be in a different color. I just couldn't sell the idea of clipboard in a different color. Maybe I could have done his face in a different color. But either way, I do like Franklin. And this is the last one I'm going to flip for you today. I feel like the next flip will be all the rest, because after this one, it's 23, there'll be 24.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 left? Hang on. I can't count. Yeah, 9. There'll be 9 left after this, so I think that's enough for a whole, an extra flip. I will just, and literally like the next one I've been working on, but I haven't finished, so this is literally the last one I can flip for today. But this one is number 23, and it says, "Beware the jingle jangle of the spoon dress." I didn't know spoons were actually really difficult to draw. So I learned that. I think I kind of sold the idea of it, less than the spoon dress. I'm more just excited about the way that her face looks. I think she's a really fun look going on up here. So I could just discount that whole bit, to be honest. Like from there, she could have a completely different gown on, but I really do like this part here. The fact that she's still got a very normal looking face, and her hair almost doesn't even look like hair, it just looks like a cloth or something draped over her head, which, fun fact, I used to wear tea towels on my head and pretend that I had long hair. So this is a self-portrait. And I like that her eyes are just kind of floating off the top of her head too. It almost doesn't look like they are her eyes, but they're, I don't know, it's just super funny. So I really like her. Anyway, those are the images that I'm flipping today. Your next flip should be the completed journal with all of them, and I will try and experiment with putting some of the prompts on the left-hand pages just to be able to have the prompts, so I don't have to refer back to the PDF on the computer all the time. Like I said, these were from the hashtag littleraveninktober prompts list, which was something that Courtney put on Patreon. And then there is a post, if you search the hashtag on Instagram, littleraveninktober, there's a post with all the prompts on there. So if you're looking for a fun side project, or you want to give up on the prompts list that you're on, or I don't know, you're just looking for some new prompt inspiration to have a go at. If you want to have a go of anything that you see in this journal, please be my guest. I would love to see what you come up with. And if you're happy to share that on social media, you can use all the hashtags you might want to use. I don't know, I'm not going to suggest any, but you know what I mean, like just tag me in it or something and I'll be able to check it out and have a look. But I've been having a lot of fun. I think off-camera journal time is super important. Obviously most people that aren't doing content creation on YouTube, or aren't, you know, don't have YouTube channels or anything, all creating time is off-camera journal time. But once you start getting into it, like if you've started a YouTube channel, or you know, you've been on Patreon, or you have Facebook groups or Instagram, not even, it's mostly video content is what I'm talking about. So if you're even live streaming everything you do, you'll know that after a while you get this sense of obligation to film every process of everything. And also if you're kind of struggling for content, you'll think, oh, well, I'll just do this and it'll be fine. At least I'll have something. And I'm not going to discredit that sometimes you need to do that, but what I've noticed is that if I'm only ever creating on camera, I'm never allowing myself the opportunity to just play and experiment with no one watching. I know I don't even have to put all the videos out there, but there's still a different way you go about creating when there's a camera rolling. You're more aware of certain things. You're less likely to do something risky, or you don't want to practice something you've never practiced before on camera. So I will encourage you that if you are a content creator specifically, and you're finding that you encounter art block a lot, or you encounter feeling discouraged a lot, just have a look at how much time you're actually providing yourself to create just for yourself, for the purposes of growing, or just for the purposes of enjoying yourself. You don't have to learn anything every single time you sit down to do something, but you have to fill up your own cup before you can pour that out for everybody else. If you're running on empty, you will keep running on empty until you fill it back up. And I found that for me personally, the only way to do that is to, be really self-indulgent for an hour or two at night, or maybe only get 1 hour every couple of days. But it is so important. And oftentimes, I'm just speaking from experience, the ideas that you end up with in those moments are what takes you to the next step when you're creating the video content that you think you're struggling with right now. You almost need to disconnect from it all to be able to reconnect to it after the fact. So I'm putting that out there as a PSA. I know I've said that before a million times. I'll probably say it a million times again. Maybe make a t-shirt, #merch. But you really do need to commit to that for yourself. And like I said, I'm only talking to people that do a lot of video content, because that is the struggle. I know the struggle is very real for people to think, oh, well, I need to put a video out, so I'm just going to do this and I can put myself off till later. If you do, it will start to show that you're really not investing any time in yourself, because you will keep running over the same problems over and over again. You won't be trying new things or learning new things. You can, I'm not saying you can't. Like, you'll learn some new things as you're doing anything. You're always growing by practicing, but you need to just take the camera off every now and again, and probably more often than you would think. I'm still guilty of sometimes thinking, oh, I'll put that off till tomorrow, or I'll do my off-camera journal time, I'll do that after I've finished my work. You need to prioritize it. I'm just telling you that the difference is unbelievable, and your following will know it too. Your audience will feel that. They will also be appreciative of the fact that you've taken the time to invest in yourself before you took the time to invest in them. It's ultimately a win-win for everybody. So it seems a little daunting, I know that. I can completely agree with you that it just seems like there's no extra time to do something, or I just can't do that right now. But trust me, you just have to do it. See if you don't notice a difference. Try it for a week or 2 weeks. You need to kind of commit to it for a little bit. 1 or 2 days isn't probably enough, but a week or 2 weeks, it kind of, let me know how it goes after that, and if you didn't feel like you were more prepared to do content, or you were better equipped, or you had learned something new, or the direction of something that you've been working on took a new course because you just took the time to invest in it. So that just got super dramatic. I'm so sorry. I just feel like it's a situation that bears further scrutiny and continued presence here at the pageant. Clock the reference. 10 points to anyone that can clock where that comes from. That was so obscure. I can't believe I just thought of that. Okay. I love that movie too. I was just talking to Stella yesterday about how much I love her in it. I don't want to tell you who, because I don't want to give that movie away. I really do want you to try and clock that reference. Okay, that's all I'm going to leave you with today. I'll be back with another flip, the third and final flip of the #littleraveninktober prompts journal that I'm working on. Until then, hope you're having a lot of success with the prompts list that you're on. Feeling super encouraged to keep going strong. Remember, there's a really good purpose to doing it all. You get to feel really satisfied and accomplished at the end of it. And I want you to all celebrate in that, and just for all of us to have a big party come the 1st of November. So that's it. I'll be back with another Inktober video tomorrow, and another Whimsy Ween video on tomorrow. Is that what I'm doing? I think that's what I'm doing now. I just said it. Okay, see you then. Bye.